Hello, good morning. I'm Dr. Bhaskar Chandra Sahu, retired Associate Professor of Philosophy. ମୁଁ ଯୁକ୍ତ 2 ଦ୍ୱିତୀୟ ବର୍ଷର କଳା ଛାତ୍ରଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଲଜିକ୍ ବିଷୟରେ କେତେଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ଭିଡ଼ିଓ ତିଆରି କରିଛି ଏବଂ ଆ ପୂର୍ବରୁ ମୁଁ ସିଲୋଜିଜିମ୍ର ଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ଚର ଆଉ ଫଙ୍କସନ୍ फिगर आउ मूड उपरे सिलोजिज्म फिगर एंड मूड उपरे वीडियो तैयारी होईची। बर्तमान मु जाउची जनरल सिलोजिस्टिक रूल उपरे ए वीडियोटी देखा पई जोटा कि युक्त 2 पिलांकर द्वितीय वर्षर पिलांक पई एरा उपयोगी हो। लेट अस स्टार्ट विथ द जनरल सिलोजिस्टिक रूल्स। General syllogistic rules. We have to construct the valid moods of syllogism by application of these rules. These are called general syllogistic rules. There are 10 general syllogistic rules. We should discuss first one by one. Rule 1. Every syllogism must have 3 and only 3 terms. Every syllogism must have 3 and only 3 terms. That means the syllogism must have 3 and only 3. What does it mean? There must be exactly 3, neither more than the 3 or less than the 3. You see, when we say man, all men are rational, all kings are men, therefore all kings are rational. This is a syllogism having 3 terms. Man is the middle term, rational is the major term, and king the minor term. The 3 terms. Every syllogism must have 3 and only 3 terms. But if there are more than 3 terms, then it leads to the fallacy or illogical violation of any rules. It leads to the fallacy, or the fallacy means logical mistakes. Here there are 3 terms of the syllogism, so there is no logical fallacy. If we violate this rule, if we construct a syllogism having more than 3 terms, then what would be happen? For example, if say like that, man is the God is the creator of man. Man is the creator of sin. Therefore, God is the creator of sin. You see, this is syllogism of having 3 propositions, but here there are not, it seems to be there are 3 terms, but there are 4 terms here. God, the creator of man, and man. Man and creator of man are not the same term. God is one term, the creator of man is another term, man is another term, and the creator of sin is another term. There are 4 terms. God, the creator of man, and man, the creator of sin. Man and creator of man are not same terms, so they are different terms. So there are 4 terms. This is a fallacy. This is a wrong. This is not a valid syllogism. This is called a fallacy of 4 terms. Why this syllogism is more than 3 terms? There are 4 terms. So by constructing a syllogism with 4 terms, then we commit the fallacy of 4 terms. Violation of this rule leads to the fallacy of 4 terms. Here is a fallacy of 4 terms. This it is if it is more than 3 terms, or if it is less than 3 terms, then it is only a immediate inference. This will be not immediate. Syllogism is immediate inference. If it has only 2 terms, then there are 3 terms. One is a middle term, major term, and minor term. If there are 2 terms, then it will be a immediate inference. It is not a immediate inference. For example, man is mortal. Therefore, mortals are men. All men are mortal. Some mortals are men. Here, man is one term, mortal is another term. There are only 2 terms. So, this is an instance of immediate inference, but this is not an immediate inference. Syllogism is a form of immediate inference. So, violation of this rule, either it leads to an immediate inference or it may lead to fallacy of form. If it has 2 terms, then it is an immediate inference. If it has more than 3 terms, it leads to the fallacy of 4 terms. This is all about rule 1. Then rule 2. In rule 2, there will be another mistake. For example, suppose there are some terms like when we say use sometimes in rule 1 also, when we use the term having more than one meaning. For example, light is pleasant. His injury is light, therefore his injury is pleasant. Here there are 3 terms. This is a syllogism, consists of 3 terms: light, pleasant, and injury. But this is not a valid syllogism. Why? In spite of 3 terms, but this is not a valid syllogism. Why? Because this here light is used in a different meaning. In the same argument, in the same syllogism, the light is used in 2 different senses. Here light is used in the opposite of happiness. Here the light is used as the opposite of darkness. In this case, his injury is light. Here light is used in the case of opposite of happiness. Light is used in 2 different senses. So here this is a ambiguous fallacy. This is a ambiguous fallacy. This fallacy, if we violate this rule, having 3 terms, but terms are used in different senses, this is a fallacy of ambiguous middle. Why this is ambiguous middle? Because here the middle term, light is the middle term. Here light is the middle term. The light is used in 2 different senses. The word light, the term light is ambiguous. So this light term is the middle term. This is called ambiguous middle. This is fallacy of ambiguous middle. Similarly, if the major term will be ambiguous, this will be fallacy of ambiguous major. If the minor term will be ambiguous, so this will be fallacy of ambiguous minor. In this way, we can violate this rule 1. If you violate this rule 1, then we commit the fallacy of ambiguous middle, ambiguous major, and ambiguous minor. These are the fallacies. Then rule 2. every syllogism must have three and only three propositions. Every syllogism must have three and only three propositions. Syllogism has three and only three propositions, exactly three propositions, not more than three propositions or not less than three propositions. If there will be less than three propositions, that means there are two propositions, then it will not be a syllogism, it will not a immediate inference, it will be an immediate inference. But if it has more than three propositions, then it will be a train of arguments. Like this, suppose if I say like this, for example, Rama is an Odia. Odias are Indians. Indians are honest. Therefore, Rama is honest. Here, this is a train of arguments. Ram is an Odia, Odias are Indians, Indians are Hindus, Ram is honest. Then here, what is the middle term? Which one is the middle term? There is no middle term. There are more than three premises. There are more than two premises. Here there are three premises and one conclusion. So this is only a train of arguments. Train of arguments. This argument is a train of premises. The train of arguments. So this is not a syllogism. Then, if we like another example, like if there will be more than three propositions, like man is honest, students are wise, kings are intelligent, boys are naughty. Therefore, man is naughty. Here, there are more than three propositions, but these all the propositions are irrelevant propositions. This is an argument. This is an irrelevant argument. There is no relation between one proposition with another proposition. So this is called an irrelevant argument. Irrelevant argument. There are more than three propositions, and this is called an irrelevant argument. This is not an argument. This is not a proper argument. So this is invalid. This is called irrelevant argument. Then we will go for the next rule. Rule P. Every syllogism must the middle term must be distributed at least once in the premises. The middle term must be distributed at least once in the premises. The middle term occurs in both the premises. Major premise and minor premise, there are two premises there. The middle term must be distributed either in the major premise or in the minor premise. If it is not distributed, and what will be the consequences and what are the fallacies, that we will see. For example, we say all students are intelligent, Mohan is a student, therefore Mohan is intelligent. You see, in this argument, this is a proposition, these are all a propositions. A proposition is subject, subject, subject. Here middle term, student is the middle term is distributed here, so there is no fallacy. Here middle term is distributed major premise, but not in the minor premise. But this is a valid argument. This argument is a valid one. But if we violate this rule, what will happen? This is called the fallacy of undistributability. Why the middle term is distributed? Because the middle term establishes the relation between the major and the minor term. It makes a relation. If the middle term is not distributed neither in the major premise nor in the minor premise, then no relation can be established. So no conclusion can be drawn. For example, I can say all men are rational. All students are rational. Therefore, we can say all students are rational. You see, these are all A propositions. Universal affirmative proposition. Universal affirmative means A proposition distributes its object only. Here, what is the middle term here? Rational, which occurs in both the premises. Rational term here is the middle term. It is not distributed neither in the major premise nor in the minor premise. Oh, this leads to the fallacy of. This is called the fallacy of undistributed middle. This is called the fallacy of undistributed middle, because the middle term is not distributed in any of the premises. So this is a fallacy of one. Why? As per the rule, the middle term must be distributed either in the major premise or in the minor premise. But here, the middle term is not distributed neither in the major premise nor in the minor premise. So it leads to the fallacy of undistributed middle. This conclusion is not the valid conclusion. This is all, when we can draw a conclusion that is all students are rational, but this is not the valid conclusion. We can also draw so many other conclusions. For example, I can show you in the diagrams. For example, this is the all men are rational. This is the main, and this is the circle of rational. All men are rational. All men are included within the class of rationality, and all students are rational. If we place the students here, all students, then students will be in the rational. Then this conclusion will be deduced. But this is not the only place. We can also place the students here also. If we place students here, this will not be visible. I can draw a bigger one. If this is man and this is rational, if this will be the student, all men are rational means all men are within the class of rationality. All men are rational. All students are rational. All students are also within the class of rationality. And what will be the relation between the men and students? There will be no relation. They are excluding from each other. The men class is separated from the student class. The men and students are excluded from each other. So this is an exclusive relation. So because we can deduce the conclusion, no students are men. We can deduce the conclusion, no. From this diagram we can say, no students are rational. Another thing like this, all men are rational. All students are men. Students are rational. If we place the students in there, all students are also within the class of rationality. Then what will happen? Conclusion, man and student. What is the relation between man and student? Some students are men. Here, some students are men. This portion, there are some students and there are also men. This is another. And if you take another example, this is the class of men. All men are rational. All students are rational. These students, they are not men. They are included within the class of rationality, but they are not in the. They are outside the men class. It's about some students are not men. Here you see, we are deducing 4 conclusions from 2 premises. From these 2 premises, we are deducing A as a conclusion. This is E and this is I and this is O. There are 4 conclusions from this 2 premises. So this is not a valid argument. A valid argument is one. There must be one and only one conclusion. But here there are more than one conclusion. So this is not at all a valid argument. So this is an invalid argument. We can also show it. This is the diagrams. Because why this type of error will arise? But this type of so many conclusions will arise. By so many conclusions derived, because the middle term is not distributed here. If the middle term is distributed here, no such other conclusions will arrive. I can show you another example. All men are rational. All students are men. Therefore, all students are rational. Here, who is the middle term? Man is the middle term. These are all universal affirmative propositions. A propositions distributes only subject. Here, middle term is distributed in the major premise. Neither in the major. So this is, there is no fallacy of undistributability. Here there is no fallacy of undistributability. Why? This is the only conclusion. You see the diagram. All men are rational. Here is the men. All men are rational. All students are men. All students must be within the class of men. All students are men. We cannot put here because all students are men. All students should be within the class of men, not outside the men. So conclusion must be students are rational. The students are automatically within the class of rationality. So this is the only conclusion. There will be no other possible diagrams. From this, why there is no other possible diagrams? Because the middle term is distributed, the main term is distributed. So because the middle term is distributed, so no relation can be established. Inclusive relation is established between the major and the minor. No exclusive relation is established, and because it is a wider administration. Therefore, no conclusion can be drawn if the middle term is not distributed in any of them. This is the fallacy of undistributed middle. But here there is no undistributed middle. This is a clear case of valid argument because the middle term is distributed at least once in the premise. This is all about rule 3. If the middle term is not distributed, so it leads to the fallacy of undistributed middle. Then we will go for the next rule. That is rule. In the next video lecture, we will discuss the next rule, rule 4. Thank you.